Zoë Bread is a very popular content creator. I've been enjoying her TikToks for many years. But she's really gained popularity, mainstream popularity, for this campaign that kind of just started out because she got a parking fine that she felt she didn't really deserve. Take a look.
Then I went back to my car, which I had legally parked, to find a Manchester Council parking ticket on it. Once more, I was apoplectic with rage. I parked under this sign that says pay at machine with an arrow which points over there. And over there is this big yellow pay here sign, so I paid at the big yellow pay here sign, which was at the end of the arrow. You'd think that was good enough. I got all the figures from the council and they're definitely running a scam.
How can I help you?
I'm calling up about a ticket I got. My appeal was rejected. I've been doing a bit of research into the road. In the last 3 days, 3 people have got tickets for the same reason.
What you would need to do is write back in.
It's not even so much about me anymore. It's more that I know that it's happening so often there because it's your fault. I mean, the council's fault. You know, the signage is just totally misleading.
So what I really like about Zoe is it's kind of a very quirky approach to making content. Really kind of natural videos, really suited for TikTok and Instagram. But there's also a bit of like a real kind of journalism behind it, kind of new style of journalism, really. You know, exposing kind of where people are not really meeting standards or there's unfairness. And obviously this one is really big for her. She felt Manchester City Council had a misleading sign, confusing things. She thought she went to pay at one, pay machine, actually she meant to pay at another because of this sign pointing the wrong direction. She made 32 TikToks at the time of recording about this.
Wow.
But the reason is not because she was so obsessed with it, but because it was so hard to get an answer out of the council and to get anywhere in sorting this story out. And she gained some really high-profile supporters, including Sarah Jessica Parker, Sex and the City. Don't think it's ever been set in Manchester City area, but she was delighted that Sarah Jessica Parker shared the story. Eventually, after a month of campaigning, but in a really kind of engaging, funny way, the council have agreed to quash any existing penalties and fines and refund those who said that, who proved in their claims, their appeals, I should say, that they had actually bought a ticket, but from the wrong machine. We tried to speak to Zoe. Understandably, she's very busy. She doesn't tend to do kind of video things. She did give an interview, a quote to the BBC, who covered the story. And she said the only part of this whole story is that I think it's bad the amount of effort it took to get heard, which is obviously not possible for a proper person to do. She added, the system doesn't work, but my system does. And she put the success down to being persistent and annoying.
And I'm totally with her on that as well. But I have personal experience of this recently, just trying to sort out, get in touch with an electricity company on behalf of my mum. And I had to it wasn't because of any profile I've got or anything like that, but I had to use social media to put a message out there saying, can someone tell me how to get in touch with this company because I need to make a complaint about X, Y, and Z. And eventually, because of me being persistent and annoying and vocal, someone got in touch with me and we were in the process of resolving it all. But I think she's spot on when she says it's the amount of effort that it takes to get heard. It's not just like in the good old days where you kind of just call customer services and then you hopefully get it resolved relatively quickly. Customer services, as all of her content shows, is so bad across the board. It's so difficult to actually speak to someone who can help. You're either speaking to, like a chatbot or something like that online, or you just don't really feel like you get it resolved. And I wonder whether this kind of like consumer journalism that's happening a lot now, this sort of campaigning that she's leading, whether that's going to actually force organisations to kind of change how they deal with Joe Public and actually, deal with their customers.
Look, I'm sure we know about councils really struggling with money, and you can't have the customer call centres as such. But one of the videos she showed the kind of frustration she had that there's a guy called John from Complaints. She got hold of, raised his issue, said, fine, I'll look into it, I'll give you a call back. She had an answer phone message saying, hi, sorry, missed your call. We tried to call you, could you call me back? No number. She tried to press the number, like the redial function on the phone. And she just said, no, you got to call back. and basically this horrible loop of things. And yeah, you're right. I think what's really interesting as well is not just this, that then, ITV featured the story, like we are doing now, using her content. And, she was like, okay, yeah, fine. But then ITV had also put a copyright strike against her because she used a small snippet of ITV's copyright. And again, it's that kind of approach of going, well, hold on, that's not fair. If you're doing that to me and you're using my content, that's not fair. And it's a fairness thing, which she does really well, but in a kind of a strong way, but not in like a kind of hectoring way, but really kind of engaging way where you can really empathise and sympathise with her situation.
I think, as far as I know, like ITV have like taken off that strike against her. Is that right?
Yeah.
So hopefully that sort of resolved that bit. Maybe it's just a misunderstanding. But yeah, I think all of her work is just, and all of her content is highlighting that there's a gap at the moment between, the relationship that organisations have with their customers, whatever the size of the organisation.